Let's do a little bit more work on chord construction now and learn some new chords there. We're going to learn about ninths and added ninths there. Now ninths are very popular in modern music. They have a lovely rich sound to them, richer even than major sevenths sometimes. And they're very easy to create, especially the added ninth, which is the fun one. So the ninth is more of a jazz chord, we won't worry too much about it, but the added ninth we definitely will. So with the added ninth, if we just take a chord, let's take our C, and we'll go through our scale degrees of C major, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and then the ninth is back around to D again. So what we have to do is add the ninth to this chord somehow. So if we just add the ninth, all we have to do is put our little finger down there onto the D note, because the D is the ninth, and we have a C add 9. So let's have a look the other way we play C add 9 is like that, and that works out just as well because all we're doing is not playing the open E string and playing it as a G note instead, which is part of the chord of C anyway. So that's a C add 9 chord. Let's try some other ones. We've played that one before. Let's try an A add 9. So here's an A chord here, which as we know uses A, C sharp and E. And then if we want to add the ninth, we go all the way back around and we find we come up with a B note. So we have to add a B note to this somehow. So one way to add the B note would be to lift off the third finger, but that's actually going to make it into an A sus2. So that's not quite what we want. We actually want an A added ninth there. So with an added ninth, the best way to get it is a B note, which is up here on the 4th fret of the 3rd string. We have a B note there. So we can't quite stretch our little finger there, or if we can, I'll guarantee you we couldn't get it accurately when we're trying to play in the middle of a song. So the better way to play it is actually like this. Put the 1st and 2nd fingers down there, and then the 4th finger up there on the B. You can hear the sound of the ninth. A lovely sound there, ninths. They've got a really lovely expectant sort of a sound. Now let's try another one. Let's try a G add 9. So if this is a G chord here, the ninth in the key of G is an A note, so we could put an A note down here with our 1st finger. As a technique way to play it, I'd probably get a little bit upset playing it like that and probably first swap around my 1st and 2nd fingers like that. Just feels a lot more comfortable. So that's a G add 9. Let's try an E add 9 now. If we've got an E chord here, all we have to add is the ninth, which is an F sharp note. So there's an F sharp here on the 4th fret of the 4th string. It's a bit tricky to hold down the 3rd finger at the same time, so if we just lift the 3rd finger off and get it like that, that's an E add 9 chord. Very nice sound to it. So let's compare that, play an E add 9 and an A add 9. Very lovely ninth sort of a sound there. So that's 2 new chords there. Let's try a couple more. We've explored the idea of the D with an F sharp and war bloody war, so let's just do it a little bit further there. The D with the F sharp, D slash F sharp means a D chord with an F sharp bass there. So some people play the F sharp bass by bringing their thumb over the top and actually holding down the 6th string with the thumb and holding down the F sharp note. Now that works just as well as any other way. I'm a great fan though of pulling it around and doing it with my 1st finger like that. If we were to put this chord down here like this, just with the 1st, 2nd and 3rd fingers, then we're playing an open 2nd string. So what we actually have then is a D add 9 chord with a F sharp bass. And you can hear it's got that ninth sound with a nice inverted triad type sound of the F sharp bass there. The other way to play it, of course, is like this, like we do it in War Bloody War, which is with a D chord proper and then the F sharp bass there. So different sound. So new chords, new ways to play, and new things to experiment with. So we'll do a couple of pieces of music in just a minute to practice them with. Let's play a couple of pieces of music now to experiment with these new chords. The first one you can see, it starts off with a D add 9 chord with the F sharp bass, which is like that. It's our 3-finger chord there, and the open 1st string. Next chord after that is a G, so we'll go to a rich G from there. It's nice and easy to get to a rich G because we can leave the 3rd finger where it is, only move the 2nd and 3rd, and put the 1st finger down onto the 1st string. After that we're off to an A, so a nice easy open A if you want, and then a B minor chord, which is a bit of a bar chord. Let's see what that sounds like. So it sounds quite nice there. So by using the D add 9 with an F sharp, we can get an ascending bass. Just like in the song War Bloody War, we can have a descending bass in the chorus. We've got a nice ascending bass that's going through the notes of F sharp, G, A, and then B. So whereas if we'd done a D chord, we wouldn't have had the ascending bass there. We would have gone from a D note bass to a G note, and then A, and then B. So it's much nicer to get the bass. It has a better effect. So fingerpicked or arpeggio, that would start to sound quite good. So I recommend you practice that, and when you're writing your songs, you want to be thinking about the same sort of things as we've got there in that example, where the bass note is going and what it's doing, because you can get a real effect from it. So let's have a look at the second piece now. This is more of just a workout on our different type chords. So the first chord is this plain old A chord. We'll do arpeggios exclusively on this one. So let's do a 4 down, up, 4 down, up, 4 down, 4 up arpeggio on the A chord. The next chord is an E chord with a G sharp bass. Now we know this is the E chord, and we know this note here is G sharp on the 4th fret of the 6th string. So we want to stretch our 4th finger up there, but that's a bit tricky, so we might just play it like this. We put our 1st finger onto the 1st fret of the 3rd string, 2nd finger onto the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and our 4th finger up to the 4th fret of the 6th string. And the 4th finger is just going to come down lightly and muffle out that 5th string as well. So we'll do a 4 down and 4 up on that one. Next chord is an A sus2 with a G sharp, F sharp bass, which is nice and easy there, like this. And the last chord is just an open E. So far we've got a A chord, E with a G sharp bass, A sus2 with an F sharp bass, and then an E chord. And that's quite an interesting sound. It's a different sound. Again, all we're doing is taking our standard chords of A sus2 and E and just mucking around with them with the bass notes and swapping things around a little bit. Let's try it now. So as you can see, I even played with things a little bit further there and did an A sus2 chord with an E bass in the very last chord of the first of the 4th bar, basically. But that's the sort of thing you can do till you get the different sounds that you want. Let's have a look at the second line of music there for that piece. It's on an A chord again. This time it goes to an A chord with a C sharp bass. So to get that, we have to do this note here, which is C sharp, as the bass. So we put the bar down across the 2nd fret and then put a 3rd finger up there to the 4th fret of the 5th string. That's an A chord with a C sharp bass. Next chord is a D with an F sharp bass, so we'll try what that one is. It's a different D with an F sharp again, but we'll play it like this, and we're just doing the D chord here by doing a bar and then the 2nd finger, and then the 3rd finger is going up to an F sharp note up there. And then the last chord is a D with an E bass, so we're doing approximately the same thing. We're just going to get our bar to go a bit further, so it's on this note here, the 2nd fret of the 4th string, which is an E chord, E bass there. So you get quite a nice sound. It's a different sound again, and that's the sort of things we really want to be doing. So I just made that piece of music up and put it into the book there for the purposes to show you what you can do. Now I cannot imagine what you guys would be able to do if you do it with a bit of thought, a bit of theory, and a bit of experimentation. Take your chords, swap around the basses, do whatever you like, use the arpeggios, try the finger picking, thickening and thinning, and really start to write some exciting songs.